Alright guys, let's first understand what is classic control. Classic control term refers to control circuits that do not have PLCs or programmable logic controllers. These PLCs are used to control long production lines in big factories. Usually production lines will be consisting of many sections or many processes, and these will be multiple ones until you reach the end product. This usually will be packaging or something. So we use PLCs to control this whole thing. But for classic control, it's simple. Actually, before PLCs came to world, classic control was used. So in classic control, we don't use these PLCs. So what's the benefit of using classic control? We use classic control circuits for its simplicity. It is easy to implement. It is low cost and efficiency and reliability. Okay, so which type of control processes I can use classic control on? Classic control is used in standalone systems or remote systems or systems that do not require complex controls. Examples are homes, factories, and workshops. A famous example in homes, let's say we have a water pump. In many houses or buildings, you will have, at least in my country, you will have a tank up in the roof of the house, and there will be a pump here, and this pump will pump water to this tank to fill it, and then from the tank it will go to the house with pressure. So this process, we use classic control to control it automatically. And in factories, like most of the factories, you will need this classic control. You will need it to control or to test motors offline. So any motors that are not connected to PLC, you can run it using classic control. And in workshops, a famous example of this is lathe machine. This machine can fabricate many things, and you can see here it's using the classic control circuits. It has push buttons, indicators. This disc rotates either clockwise or counterclockwise. You have this whole setup goes in the y-axis, this way or this way, and you have this small here, it can go this way, and all this machine can be controlled using classic control. Okay, so the concept of NO and NC is the core of industrial control circuits. So in classic control, we will use NO and NC a lot. Don't rush into things, I will tell you what are these. Okay, so control devices such as switches, timers, digital counters, relays, and contactors all have NO and NC contacts on them. So you'll probably ask, what exactly are NO and NC? NO and NC contacts. NO stands for normally open and NC stands for normally closed. Normally open contacts close when they are triggered, and normally closed contact open when they are triggered. So normally open contacts will stay open until they are triggered, then they will go to closed state, and normally closed will stay normally closed until they are triggered and go to the open state. So how are they triggered? They can be triggered mechanically by hand or by a machine arm, robot arm, or anything like that, or electronically through electrical signals. And this is in an automated process. You will use either mechanically or electronically to control this process or machine. So I can say that if you have NO and NC, you can create all kinds of control circuits. And I mean by that all kinds of industrial control circuits, like even PLCs. If you will use PLCs, you will need NO and NC. But we will use in our classic control NO and NC concept. So if you have these two, you can do many things, all kinds of control circuits. Okay, this is for today. In next lessons, we will learn where we will use NO and C, like devices types. Probably we will talk about these guys here. We will talk about switches, timers, digital counters, relays, and contactors.